All right, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the menu structure and how we assign our pages to a menu. So first of all, I want you to jump over to the front end of your page. Now I'm just, to get there, I'm just right clicking and then opening in a new tab. Just because we're going to work in the back end as well. So in here, this is obviously the menu up here. And then we assign whatever pages we want. Just so you know, this donate button is actually part of the menu. So just so you know, I like to set it up that way because when we do go down to mobile, it's just it works really, really well to just have a part of the menu. And then I can show you how we can go ahead and highlight these different buttons if you wanted to later on. But at the moment, we're just, so like I mentioned, this donate button is part of the menu. So to get to the place where we actually assign the menu, you can just come into customize. And then we're going to drop down to menus on the left-hand side here. And then menus. Okay, so this is what I noticed just before I did this video. I've actually have my main menu is actually assigned as a secondary menu. So you might want to go ahead and change that to primary menu. If you are using this theme, it's probably going to be the same. The other themes I think are set up correctly with the primary. It doesn't matter. It purely is just the name. So just for confusion, you might want to change this menu name to primary and then sort it out there. So there's two ways to go ahead and set up the menu. You can do it in the front end here. However, I am going to show you guys how to do it in the back end. So if you wanted to add pages, you can do it here, but I'm gonna do it in the back end because that's where I've always kind of done it, and I just think it's a little bit easier. So just so you know, we will be assigning the menu. So this is the menu we're going to assign it to. So if you jump back over into dashboard, come down to appearances, go to menus, and this is where you can set it up. And very similar to the front end. I just like to do it here because it's easier to find the pages to add. So this is where you could change the menu name. So we could change that to primary menu, and then we may have to go back to the front end, but I'm not going to change that just for the video. So if you wanted to get rid of pages, you can just use the drop down triangle and hit remove. And then if you wanted to add a page to your menu structure, you just say we wanted to add this test page, you just go ahead and click it, tick it there, and then add to menu, and it's going to pop into the bottom there. So at the way we have the menu set up now, we don't have any sub menus. So I'll explain that. So if I went ahead and saved this item and then went back and then just refreshed, we now have an extra page. We have this test page up here, which is part of the menu structure. Now, if we want to make this, if we're starting to get too many pages, up in the menu here, and we want to start adding them underneath, we would go ahead and get this test page. Let's just say this was our store, one of the projects we were working on. So we can assign it to, it would be right underneath the work. But if we grab it and kind of pull it out a little bit, see how it's offset? Now that is going to be that's going to appear as a sub menu. Okay, so let me just jump over to my front end again, refresh, and now you can see how it's highlighted green up here, and we have test page here. Okay, we can go ahead and play around with the look and feel of that when we set up our menu, but so you know the colors and that might drop down a little bit further. But if we were setting up that sub page, that's how we would kind of do that. And then you can move these around just as is. Save. And again, now we have two pages under this heading. So that's how we set up our menu structure. If you want to change the name, so this highlighted area here, well, this kind of bold where it says the challenge, that's the page name. Now, if you want to change that and just have, challenge appear in the menu, that's where you could change that. So that would be the navigation label. So before I refresh, it's the page name here. And then when I refresh this, it's just going to be challenge. Okay, so if you had a really long name or for the page or something like that, you can change it to whatever you like there. That's about it. If you wanted to add posts to your to the site menu structure, you can. I really haven't seen too many people doing that. Custom links, again, it's probably too advanced. We're not going to be bothering about that. And categories the same. So I would just keep this, keep it set up, keep it simple. If you do want to make an additional menu, so this is where I would. I don't have the menu here, but on one of the other templates, we have a menu in the footer. So if you wanted to create a new menu, we would, so you can assign your menus here, but however, I like to assign it where I'm physically working. So edit menu. So if I wanted to create a new menu, and call this one the footer menu. Footer menu. And then I can just start adding pages to my footer menu. Add a bunch of them at once. Organize them around where you wanted them. Now, the reason you might want to create a menu for the footer is a separate menu is if you had 5 or 6, maybe even 10 pages once we're kind of finished, you might not want to add them all to the footer, but you might want to add like 5 or 6 of the pages that you're really trying to call action to. So that's how you could go and set that up. Now, remember, when you do this, you then need to just save that menu. And that's it. So next time you come back in here, just remember if you're trying to find the primary menu or the secondary menu, which is in our case, just select which one it is, hit select, and then it will load that up. So I am going to take out the test page. I'm going to plonk that back in so it all appears in the menu and no sub-menus at the moment. And that's kind of it. In the next video, we're going to actually think about how we want to structure our menu. So what I mean by that is if you can decide what pages you want to have on your website, which is you should have already done, let's go ahead and we can start renaming all the pages and then set up our header and our menu. So that'll be the next step that we're going to do, and I can't wait to see you guys on that video.